I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to automatically have good habits without even trying. Now that might sound really clickbait, that might sound overly simple, but I'm going to be sharing with you in this video exactly what I mean, how you can actually embody this and get to where it is that you want to be with the least effort possible that is possible in your experience. Like if there's a way to get to what you want with the least effort possible, that does exist, and I'm going to be sharing with you how to do that in this video. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do actually post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to automatically have good habits without even trying, and what I mean by that is by understanding this first. The only way out of anything in life, any bad habit or something that you don't like or something that's not right for you, and I say don't like in that way because there's nothing good or bad, but sometimes we just don't like something and that's okay. But the only way to get out of that situation, in my experience, is to move through the experience. And that might sound like horrible advice. It's like, Francis, are you saying that if I have this bad habit that's not serving me, just to move through that and to keep doing it? Honestly, if I'm going to be really honest with you, sometimes yes. Sometimes yes. Now, I'm not saying there's not time and place to be super disciplined, to just go cold turkey on what's not resonating with you and go in another direction and reverse that momentum and be disciplined and committed and focused on what you want. But oftentimes, that does not work for people. The more they force themselves to go do what they want, first of all, they don't even want to be doing that. They believe they have to, and they're miserable through the entire process of doing what they think they have to do that they don't even want to do in that moment. They're completely miserable. And even if they do that and have some success for maybe a few weeks or a few months, they usually can't sustain that because all they're thinking about deep in their hearts is that thing that they believe is bad, that they believe they shouldn't be doing, that they've pushed away, and they've replaced it with this disciplined thing that actually they really want something deep in their hearts. They really want to go do that thing that they believe is bad, that is a bad habit. And I say bad habit in that way, not because there's not bad habits, but because the irony of it all is that to transcend any bad habit is to sometimes just honor that thing fully and just go do it. But don't do it 50%, don't do it 70%, don't do it 80%, not even 80%, do it fully. Do it fully with your full consciousness and your full presence and just give it everything you have. Do it fully. When you come from this space, it's really powerful because you detach from what you think you want and you're there in that moment fully doing exactly what you really want, which sometimes people might look at you and think that you're doing a bad habit or doing something wrong, but you're there in your own bliss. And you might actually be doing something that's quote unquote dysfunctional or wrong, or you shouldn't be doing it, or whatever it is to you. But if you do that with full consciousness and full presence, you'll just eventually stop resonating with it and it'll just fall away. This is why I believe that the only way out of anything is through the experience. You can't run away from anything. Anything in consciousness that can be experienced will be experienced. And the only way to realize what is better or worse, so to speak, for you and for all beings around the planet is to do things and test them and to try them and even face the consequences of doing things that maybe are not in alignment. How else are you going to find out? Now, am I telling you to go do things that are going to hurt you? No, I'm not. Am I telling you to go consciously use this as a permission slip to go be extremely dysfunctional and ruin your life? No, I'm not. All I'm saying is if you're already doing something in your life that you think is bad, if it's already a part of your field, if you're already going to go do it anyways, just try this. Try not to see it as bad and do it fully. Because maybe you were in that thing, maybe you were kind of half-assing. Maybe you're doing that bad habit, but maybe you're thinking, maybe you're judging yourself. You could be even in resistance the whole time, telling yourself that, oh my God, this thing's so bad. I shouldn't be doing this. Why am I doing this? Like you're in this frantic energy and creating more of it and more of it. But if you're just to slow down and just do it fully without judging yourself, without being in that frantic energy, this is what usually happens. It's just like, oh, that was an interesting experience. Well, I don't even want that anymore, because you move through it. You actually just experienced it. Like, some people think they want something for 50 years and they judge themselves for wanting it. But if you just go do it fully, you just either stop wanting it or you actually wanted it and you just do more of it. Either way, you win. You can't lose with this strategy. But you have to be wise enough to realize, like, okay, you can use a little bit of common sense here. Like, don't hurt yourself, don't go do anything that's going to kill you or whatever, but just take this as a general concept that can really change your life if you apply it in those things, especially that you're already going to do anyways, that you might be resisting that whole process. Like, just go do it. The only way out of something is through something. And what's going to happen is that the more that you do this, automatically you get more ideas towards what you actually do resonate with. And by that point, it doesn't even feel like work anymore. It just feels like something you actually want. Like, for example, I haven't eaten fast food in multiple years. I don't like fast food. I don't like the way, like, it tastes good, but I don't like but I don't like the way that it makes me feel. I don't want that in my field. And the way that I was able to get to this point, like, I eat only whole foods, only real actual food. That's what I eat. And that's just a part of who I am. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel hard. It doesn't feel difficult. It's just an automatic thing for me just to go eat only whole foods. Like, I don't even think about like grabbing any food that's unhealthy at all whatsoever at the grocery store, or like if I see like some fast food place, like I can see it, but my consciousness just like doesn't like tune in with it. Like, I just don't care. I don't want it. It's not my preference. It's not a desire. But here's the thing though. You want to know how I got there? Many nights, honestly, of binging on fast food. Like, years ago, I'd binge and just eat so much fast food because I really wanted it. I really believed, like, this is what I want. I just want to eat this fast food. This is what I want. Like, screw everybody else. I'm just going to eat this. This is what I want. And I ate it. And I ate it until I got sick. And I felt so sick. I was just like, God, this feels horrible. I don't want to do this to myself anymore. What can I go do that's going to make me feel good? Go eat a healthy food. Then I ate the healthy food and I felt really good. Then I went back and I honored the fact that I wanted to eat some unhealthy food. God, this feels terrible. And I did that fully. I did that consciously 100%. You know, sometimes I would notice urges to not eat the food and just be with that urge and then go eat healthy food anyways. But then I noticed that I would fall back into own ego backlashes when I didn't fully honor what I wanted moment to moment. So really, awareness and consciousness is the solution to automatically have good habits without trying. Because through contrast and through awareness, you'll learn what you don't like, you'll learn what you do like, and through pure consciousness and a purity in your awareness, you'll naturally be guided towards the things that are in the highest alignment for you and others and what you actually want. And again, use this with a little bit of common sense, but understand that this is very powerful and can help you to move through things and maybe you're holding on to for like 15 years and within days, you just don't want that thing anymore genuinely because you just let yourself do it. I can give you so many examples in my personal life, but the fast food one is a good one because now I genuinely don't want it. Like, wouldn't you want that to be the place that you're in? Not to like discipline yourself. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like I am disciplined. I don't eat fast food. I don't want that. But how I got there was through an effortless process of owning what I want moment to moment and realizing what I actually want in this moment now, which is right now eating whole actual food and being a little bit repulsed by fast food. Like, I don't even see fast food as food. I think it's disgusting. I think it's gross and I don't want that. But at some point I disagreed with that and I wanted it and I learned actually I don't want that because I feel sick to my stomach when I eat this food. And it's as simple as that. You can learn through that process. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to automatically have good habits without even trying is number 2, understand that things will fall away when it's time. You know, like one thing that I encourage you to do is stop being so hard on yourself for certain things that you believe you shouldn't be doing because you believe you have to be somewhere else. Like, that whole pattern is actually stopping you from going towards what you want. You cannot run away or spiritually bypass really anything. It's impossible. And if you try, the truth is that on some plane of consciousness, you will experience it, whether on another lifetime or maybe later in your life, that desire will come up. Like, if there's a desire for consciousness to experience something, even if there's negative consequences to that, it will experience it. how are you going to know what works and what doesn't work unless you try it and face the consequences of that thing? You just don't know. And that sounds a little bit scary. It's like, well, there's a lot of room for error there, Francis. You can get hurt. You can be unsafe there. Yes, you can. But also, you're extremely unsafe holding on to this thing, not moving forward in your life too. In fact, that causes more unsafety and more insecurity when you don't just let yourself be easy on yourself and just let things fall away when it's time. Like sometimes you just got to go do that thing that maybe feels like a little bit of a self-sabotage pattern, and just go do that, but do it fully. And this is the key. You have to actually do it fully. You can't be stuck in your head. You can't be judging yourself. You can't be telling yourself you don't want it. If you want it, go want it, but do that fully. Really be with it, really emotionalize it, like really actually fully get an experience for that thing. And that is the fastest way to automatically align with good habits, in my experience, is to just really do what you want actually moment to moment. And some people are so in resistance to that when I say that. They're like, oh no, this is that's not, you need to be disciplined in this. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be disciplined, but those same people that disagree with what I'm saying are usually also stuck in some sort of a pattern, not moving forward with what they want. And the patterns that they're in, they are judging themselves for doing that. So it's like you can't win when you're not moving through the experience. It's impossible to win, because either you're stuck where you are and you resist that process, or you go towards what you want, still in resistance to where you are, not even wanting to be there and being miserable through the whole process. Either way you lose. But with this strategy here, you can't lose. You can only win. The worst thing that can happen is you'll die. I'm just kidding. The worst thing that can actually happen is, I guess that's the fear that we all have, is the fear of death. But assuming you use common sense and you don't kill yourself in this process, the worst thing that can really happen is you'll learn a lesson and you'll learn what you really don't want. And that's really good to know about yourself. Like, how powerful is that for me, that I can say, you know what? I just know about myself. I don't eat fast food. I just don't eat it. It's gross to me. It's a really good thing to know about yourself. Don't you think so? Don't you think that's valuable to know about yourself? Like, hey, I've been there. I don't want that. Some people might try to test you and be like, hey, are you sure you don't want that? Are you scared? Maybe you're scared. Maybe just go want that. It's like, no, I'm not scared. I just don't want that because it makes me freaking sick to my stomach, And that's what you learn when you own what you want. Now, the third and final thing that I want to share with you is just keep in mind, just be easy on yourself. That's the second thing. Just be easy on yourself. Let things fall away when it's time, and don't judge yourself if you have a calling to do something that you think is bad. Again, with common sense, not telling you to do something stupid or hurt yourself. Use your common sense, but try this strategy and notice how powerfully your life actually starts to change if you actually test it. Because most people watch these videos and they're like, oh my gosh, it's too simple. I don't want this. Just try it. Test it. Go test it and see what happens before judging what I'm saying. And you'll prove to yourself that what I'm saying is possibly the truth. But you can't know until you go test it for yourself. And maybe what you're doing right now isn't working anyways. So what do you have to lose? Just go test it and see what happens. Now, the third thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to automatically have good habits without even trying is number 3, understand that you always want to be open to testing better habits and what feels better within the allowing of what you're doing that maybe is not working. Because sometimes what happens is that the only way that we can actually feel better in life is by being open to things that are out of our current level of consciousness. So you might think like, God, I don't want to go work out because that doesn't feel good to me. But how do you know that if you go test that thing, you're not going to feel good after? How do you know? You really don't know. Sometimes we have all these ideas about what we think we want, but when you go test it, either you don't want that thing at all, or you go test that thing you thought you didn't want and you really liked it and you really resonated with it. So the ego will come up with all sorts of ideas and stories in terms of what's right for it, what I want, what I don't want. Now, what's worked for me is to own what I want moment to moment, let those self-sabotaging patterns come up if they need to, but always be open to challenging what's comfortable and go testing things that are potentially going to be better for me, whether that's eating something healthy. For me, it's a natural part of my existence. But in the past, it was like, okay, let me just go test these healthy foods to see what I like, or let me go test this kind of relationship with this person to see what that's like. Let me go test this. Be open to testing better habits or better ways of being that maybe even you think you don't resonate with that, but be open. How do you really know if you resonate with something unless you go try it? Now, of course, honor your emotional guidance system. If you really don't want to go do something and it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Obviously, trust that. But I'm just saying, be open to testing things that maybe possibly you think you don't want that, but if you go test it, you'll realize like, oh my gosh, I really want this. Like, get a taste of something higher, you know? Like, there's been times where I used to think that I don't like meditating, I don't want to meditate. But when I stop meditating, my life usually falls apart and things don't actually align how I want. And then so for me, meditation, when I do meditation, it's not a forceful thing because it just makes me feel so good that when I don't do my meditations, I don't feel as good. And the only way I was able to get there was by simply testing a meditation that maybe I don't know if I like this, maybe I don't know what it's going to be like, but I tested it and I felt really good. And I didn't even know that was going to be the result. For all I knew, I could have tested meditation and it could have been the worst thing ever, but I tested it. I was open-minded enough to go test it, and I really liked that. I didn't even know that I could feel those emotions. I didn't even know that I could be at that level of consciousness. I didn't even know that I could feel that good. And then I went back to the old patterns, to that contrast. It's like, oh, that felt so good, and this doesn't feel as good. Maybe there's something there to that thing that I tested. But you can't have that contrast unless you go test something that is out of who you think you are now. That's why you want to be open to testing things that are actually going to be helping you, but maybe you think it's not going to help you, but you don't actually know until you go test it and try it, of course, with full consciousness and presence. So I'm not going to make that last point too complicated. Just be open to testing things that might be good for you in combination with those previous strategies that I just shared with you. And you'll find that with these strategies, you do actually quite literally automatically have better habits without even trying. Like, you're just being who you are. You just do what you want to do, but you're just getting towards this more epic version of you. And you're not really trying. Like, even if you try to do anything, if you're trying or disciplining yourself, that naturally arises from a genuine, authentic space of doing what you actually want to be doing. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, if this video was supportive for you or beneficial for you in any way, leave a comment down below sharing your experience. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I read every single comment. Also, lastly, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do actually believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that actually they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easeful way possible, helping themselves and helping others in the process as well. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.